he's come to the monitor. Jorge, good to see you as always, my friend. There was some video that you had earlier of smugglers being paid just out there in the open. Are these guys getting more and more brazen?
That's what we're seeing here, Leland. So right here, I'm actually in the Yuma sector. I'm in a location known as the Gap, and the reason that it's called the Gap is you can literally see the gap of border wall. And these human smugglers, Leland, are actually coming up to even to the Colorado River and guiding these migrants across illegally into the United States. You could see in that video the Cuban migrants paying cash to that human smuggler before making their way into this Yuma sector. And actually, Leland, as we're speaking right now, right behind us, we actually have a group of Haitian migrants walking along the dam through the Colorado River. So just in about 5 minutes or so, they're actually going to be here at the Yuma sector crossing illegally. And that's what we're starting to see here. We were speaking to Border Patrol agents, and they said that they actually been seeing the huge influx of Haitian migrant influx here in the Yuma sector, that they're starting to come in here. So it's not just states like Texas that are being impacted by the border crisis or the huge Haitian migrant surge. The Haitians are starting to make their way here into Yuma. Like I said, Leland, just over my shoulder, we could see now those Haitians are actually walking through the water in the Colorado River. And like I said, they're about just 5 minutes and they'll be here in Yuma, Arizona.
Once they get into Yuma, what happens to them?
Well, what's going to happen, Leland, is they're just going to wait out here, and they're actually going to wait for the Border Patrol. So these are the migrants that actually want to be apprehended, and they want to be processed by the Border Patrol agents. So one thing that we'll see here in a bit is the Border Patrol is going to come, take down the information of these migrants, and then transport them to a facility and most likely release them to the United States, just like what we saw when the Haitians under that bridge, when Mayorkas announced that 12,000 of those Haitians living on the bridge got processed and released into the United States.
It's stunning how it just happens live on television, and this is not unusual. When we were down on the border together in Mission, we saw the very same thing. Some want to turn themselves in, which conceivably this group is going to. This person probably did not want to turn themselves in. Also in the Yuma sector agents arrested a child rapist that illegally entered the United States on Monday. Are you hearing from the Border Patrol that it's difficult to check and to process everybody and deal with everybody as they're overwhelmed? Are there child rapists who are not getting caught?
Yeah, so the sources here are saying that the agents here in this sector have been overwhelmed just because of a huge spike in increase. Yuma last year in the month of August, they've only encountered 694 agents. Compare that to August 2021, they've encountered over 17,000 migrants. That's already a 2,000% increase. And agents say that the yet is worse to come as more Haitians are going to be trickling in. And just one more time, Leland, like I said, those Haitians are getting a little bit closer here, making their way through that Colorado River, and they'll be here in Yuma, Arizona, and shortly. But like I said, the Yuma border agents are expecting the worst as the influx is starting to hit this sector here.
We weren't able to put this up earlier, but it's a call for the smugglers being paid. It doesn't seem that it requires a lot of smuggling to walk across a river. Is this more of like a tithe because the cartels control the river, or what do these smugglers get for their payment?
Well, here what we're seeing is that smugglers get their fee just to at least direct the migrants and get them to this location. This is a location that they have nicknamed called the Gap in Yuma. And just like I said, it's called the Gap because you could easily see the huge gap in border wall. And we're still trying to find out information of how these migrants find out about this new route here. But this is one of the new routes here that agents are telling us. And we're not only running into Haitians, we're running into the constant flow of Central Americans, Venezuelans. We've also met some migrants coming from Nicaragua and Cuba as well that are now taking advantage of this route. Yeah. But you can see there, Leland, those Haitians are getting close here to the Yuma, Arizona soil here, and they'll soon be here on American land.
Yeah. As you point out, so many people from all across South America and the rest of the world saw what happened to the Haitians under the bridge and are now headed towards America. Jorge, great work. We'll talk to you soon, my friend.
Thank you, Leland.
All right. The government isn't going to default on its debt, at least not for another